Madam Speaker, at this time I yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from California, Mr. Nunes.
The gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in opposition to this intellectually dishonest resolution. I do so in order to challenge the majority party to put their legislating where their mouths have been. The endless criticism of the war in Iraq is clouded by political opportunism and has done little or nothing to improve our chances of victory. We need an honest debate. We need answers from those who support this resolution. What's next? What is your plan? It should come as no surprise that the resolution we are debating today says very little. There are less than 100 words. And while the rhetoric has been flying during the debate, it seems to me that the new Democrat majority is hoping to avoid debate in which they might have to defend their plan in Iraq. What we have here is nothing more than political exercise, a non-binding resolution, words with no meaning. Make no mistake, their opposition to the President's plan is political. There is no constructive criticism here. Read their resolution. Iraq is the battleground, Mr. Speaker, a key battleground against extremism, terrorism, and the expansionist goals of our enemies. If we fail, Iraq will be a hotbed of radical Islamic activity, a pivotal safe haven, a base from which to plan and fund attacks against us. Mr. Speaker, how is the danger associated with defeat in Iraq not clear? I ask my colleagues, what evidence do you need? Have you listened to the words of our enemies? Must we have more casualties in American cities before you accept the nature of this global threat? How quickly we forget, Mr. Speaker. I urge my colleagues to listen carefully to the words of Osama bin Laden. Last year, bin Laden said Iraq is the focal point of the war on terror. The most important and serious issue today for the whole world is this third world war. It is raging in Iraq. The world's millstone and pillar is in Baghdad, the capital of the caliphate. Another one, jihad against America will continue. Jihad against America will continue economically and militarily. By the grace of Allah, America is in retreat, but more attacks are required. Madam Speaker, Osama bin Laden, as well as other Islamic extremists around the world, view the conflict in Iraq as the central battleground in their ideological struggle. Make no mistake, we are at war, and it's about time that some of our members of our government figured it out. Someday soon, the representatives who are supporting this resolution will have to explain to the voters what they have done to make us safer at home and abroad. Since this resolution does nothing more than embolden our enemies, demoralize our troops, and send mixed messages to our allies, they will have a difficult task before them. Today, unfortunately, we won't hear much about the Democrat plan for Iraq. We will instead hear a lot about failure and defeat. We might even hear a conspiracy theory or two. And of course, we will hear a lot of political posturing. But, Madam Speaker, the American people deserve to know the truth. What happens next, Madam Speaker, to those who believe the President is wrong, to those who believe we rushed to war, to those who can't get beyond our national intelligence failures and instead persist on conspiracy theories? Tell us, what's next? What is your plan to protect the American people? Madam Speaker, I demand answers from the authors of this resolution. The American people have a right to know. Is your plan to simply stand aside and allow an ideology of hate to consume the Middle East? I implore my colleagues, if you won't heed the warnings of our military and intelligence organizations, listen to al-Qaeda's own words. They're speaking directly to you. This is from Deputy Leader al-Zawahiri recently. I wish to talk to the Democrats in America. You aren't the ones who won the midterm elections, nor are the Republicans the ones who lost. Rather, the Mujahideen are the ones who won, and the American forces and their allies lost. I ask my colleagues, how can you offer this resolution knowing the enemy we face? Do you really have nothing to offer the American people but this? Is this resolution the best effort of the new Democrat majority in response to our challenge in Iraq? Madam Speaker, we should have an honest debate about Iraq, and my friends who are convinced that the war is wrong need to be accountable for failing to say what is right. In closing, I want to say how proud I am of the men and women who are fighting for our freedom and security all over the world. They don't deserve what we are doing to them today. This resolution is a sham. It is nothing more than political grandstanding, and it is feeding the propaganda machine of our enemy. I've been to Iraq. I've seen the efforts of our soldiers firsthand. They want to win. They have seen the face of the enemy, and I can assure you they are committed to winning. If you are committed to winning, vote no on this resolution. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.